welcome back to Between the Fields. I'm your host, Ramin.
My name's Dennis, and we are here today with
Arman Rahemi.
welcome.
Welcome, Arman.
Thanks, guys. Glad to be here.
You know,
Thanks
and,
for having
and
me.
thanks for filling in on such short notice.
Yeah.
Well, I'm only in town for so long, so
Well, that's why we had to get the interview. So, why don't you start off, Arman? Tell us who you are, what college you went to, what sport you played, and then
What you
also
do for a living.
what you do for a living.
so my name's Arman Rahemi. I played soccer at Palm Beach Atlantic University. Graduated from there with my PharmD back in 2014. Played soccer for 2 years there before entering pharmacy school. I currently manage Walmart drugstores and vision centers in Louisville, Kentucky.
Oh, very
Oh,
cool.
that's awesome,
Very
man.
cool. So taking it back to PBA, right?
Yep, PBA.
How did you first get seen or recruited to the college, or how was that process for you, like your senior year in college, or sorry, high school?
Well, I went to St. Thomas Aquinas High School, and playing at a high school like that gave a lot of exposure just for the local colleges. So, we had your FIUs, your FAUs, Florida Gulf Coast, UCFs out there watching us. But really, I kind of got looked at when I was playing travel league. I played in Weston, went to various tournaments like Disney Showcase, Rally Showcase, and had a couple colleges, I think, look at me around. It's probably the fall time when we went to that Rally Showcase tournament. Got a couple recruiting letters from College of Holy Cross, Bucknell, and the third one was blanking on it, Princeton. And it was only because I had really good grades. Kind of was a little bit of bookworm, if you know what I mean.
So you'd say having good grades is very helpful when trying to get seen by colleges or getting recruitment offers.
Oh yeah, student athletes are really big to coaches when it comes to scholarship money.
Yeah, because a lot of people think that they can just play soccer because they're good, but
They'll make it because of talent.
they really do, like, they forget about that the academic part of it. But yeah.
Yeah.
Um
So I guess elaborate a little bit more, kind of wanted to go off onto a career as pharmacy as I finished out being a pharmacist, but I was really trying to see, do I go after the school or do I try to play soccer in college? And I kind of almost let the dream die, to be honest with you guys. I almost didn't play college soccer. Ended up sending in a highlight tape from our state semifinal and state finals games with St. Thomas to my PBA head coach, Jose Gomez. And I think he took a look at the tape and invited me to preseason that freshman year, where I ended up redshirting that whole year, but it did give me the opportunity to train, still live on the dream, play soccer, and get ready for that sophomore season, which was really my breakout year for the team.
All right. So question though, so you knew going into college that you wanted to be a pharmacist.
Oh yeah, I knew I wanted to be a pharmacist since I was a sophomore in high school, really.
Okay.
so did that make that made your decision obviously easier to go into PBA versus any other school, or did you truly want to go there, or what was driving you to choose that school?
So ideally, I really wanted to go to St. John's or USF. Those were the two schools I was looking at, and possibly trying to get some exposure in front of those coaches. Unfortunately, there was a tournament in Virginia that I did not get a chance to attend, the Jefferson Cup. I'm not sure if you two are familiar with that one.
I played in
of it.
that, yeah.
I don't think I played. I heard of it.
So I got sick with I have Crohn's disease, and I got sick and hospitalized, and didn't get a chance to go to that tournament to see that St. John's coach. I actually had my travel soccer coach Alvin James. I don't know if you're familiar with that
I'm
name.
not playing with the son.
Yeah, he had an opportunity to talk to that coach, and then I didn't go to the tournament, so kind of dropped that and said, all right, you know what, maybe I should just focus on being a pharmacist. But PBA was the school that had the pharmacy school that I wanted to start off with. Older brother was a pharmacist or trained to be a pharmacist there, had already been in that program. So I figured, well, let me see if I can go there, and if I can get on the soccer team, let's try to be a preferred walk on.
And And just because you said something kind of unique to your story, because you said that you had Crohn's disease. I don't know anybody else that like had battling some sort of autoimmune or any type of like sickness growing up or anything like that. I mean, was it a struggle for you playing soccer, or were you fighting against more than just the other kids there? Or did you feel like that kind of played a role, or kind of like
Played a
gave you
factor in
gave you
everything.
yeah maybe like gave you
So
an edge
I
down
I
almost?
never let the Crohn's disease be like an edge that would hinder me from trying to perform on the field or try to get a starting position or anything like that. But kind of looking back on it, thinking about how Crohn's disease works, I do feel that probably my energy levels and just being fatigued quicker than probably your average kid did probably play a factor. I just tried never let it affect my mental, if that makes sense.
Well, that's important.
No, that's
Because, yeah,
awesome.
coming into your freshman year, your first time being in college, being an athlete on the soccer team, and you're just hit with those 5, 6 a.m. training, weight room, straight to the soccer field, doing fitness. You know, you gotta be strong mentally to
Oh
make
yeah.
it through the days. Because once the morning's done, get a couple days or a couple hours off, and then you have to come right back again in the afternoon. Yeah, for preseason.
So you've decided, hey, I'm going to PBA. I want to go to the pharmacy school program there. Let me see if I can get on the soccer team. You got in. They accepted you. You're on the soccer team.
Yep.
What was
Coach brought me out actually for a couple trial runs, if you will,
Yeah.
just to see if I'd keep up with the team. And when I started picking off balls from the seniors on the team, he's like, "All right," because kind of a no-brainer, and
So then what did he give you to prep for? Like, because you actually didn't have a summer to prep for this. From what you're making it sound like. Is that correct?
Yeah, that is correct. I wasn't brought on until probably they had just finished their preseason, and as like school started that weekend, he brought me to practice, and
Were you training up to that point, or?
Did you know you were gonna be brought on, or it was kind of like a last minute thing or last moment thing where like, oh yeah, come on out, we'll see what
So,
we can do.
so like you guys know, playing travel soccer, summer was always time to just sharpen your skills, get fit, get ready for the next upcoming year. So, a couple of guys that were going to FIU that I knew of would always play during the summer, so I would do pickup with them, trainings, some agility work, things like that. Nothing to the extent that I witnessed the next season because I really trained pretty hard that summer going into sophomore year.
Okay, gotcha. So you didn't even really have to do a pre-workout or a preseason packet. You were already kind of in shape.
One might say he copied FIU's preseason package
It's
by
what it
training
sounded
with.
like. The credit goes out to FIU for just for him joining PBA. But so
Any
you
core memories like coming into the freshman year? Well, you redshirted your freshman year, you
Yeah.
said. So you didn't really get your first start time till sophomore year.
Well, really spring season, to be
Spring season,
honest
yeah,
with you.
correct.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we had
that.
spring season.
what
All the seniors graduated or were done for the fall season, if you will.
and again, just for people listening to us, redshirt basically, right? You are not playing your first year, like
Yeah, whatever reason it is, you miss a certain amount of games, they give you the option to redshirt, so that it doesn't take up one of your 4 years of eligibility.
What
And
so was that like a good like year for you to just get better? Did you felt like you should have been playing? How was it on your mental?
Honestly, like there were four seniors playing the flat back four,
Yeah,
and
that would have been tough.
I was pretty versatile between left and right back. As you guys know, center back position needs a little bit more height just to win those balls out
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
on those corner kicks and set pieces. So, yeah, I redshirted and I just said, you know what, I'll have the opportunity to play if I do a fifth year or something like that
Yeah.
in college. Just serious. I was just more fortunate to be playing soccer and keeping myself busy because I've been playing soccer since I was 4 years old. Travel leagues, high school, everything.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah. No, I just wanted to know in case anybody else was going through that. Hey, you still got an extra year of
So you
eligibility.
basically took that year to
So
kind of adapt to the college play style through practice and spring season, get your fitness level up to that level of a college player, and then also the strength aspect of it to be ready for your actual debut. Because obviously we know fall is soccer is the main sport of fall.
Right.
So you really were preparing yourself for your debut that upcoming fall, your sophomore year.
So your sophomore year, what was that like? You're finally getting onto the field.
Oh.
Were you starting, not starting? Were you nervous?
I was
or-
actually able to start that game because I made it a point that whole summer to just get fit.
Yeah.
You guys know about the Cooper test, I'm sure.
Oh,
Oh.
love
Very.
Is that what you guys have to do too?
Big pain point, yeah. So,
You passed?
well, I was very close.
No, that was a no.
I was 30 seconds off to
Hey,
passing that.
welcome to the club.
Yeah.
I'm there.
But I will say that not only did I not pass that, but I was in the top 10 guys that actually finished that thing out. So out of 22 people, I finished in the top 10. So it's a difficult test.
I'll tell
2
you.
minutes. Or 2 miles, 12 minutes.
Every year we ran that, I can tell you right now, I saw this guy running off the track to go to the bathroom for some sort of stomach issue. And I was like, I didn't know him too well at the time. I was like, who the heck is this guy?
He was a freshman.
I think I heard about
the
that.
track. Like, what's going on? And yeah, he just left the fitness test.
I was taking antibiotics for the record. Everyone knows that can cause some bowel movement, GI disturbances.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
Was a yearly thing.
let the record state.
Sounds like your college coach was a little permitting of not having to repeat it, huh?
no, you have to repeat
it was definitely a breakfast club, but that's neither here nor there.
Okay.
So any type of you went to a Christian university. Was there any type of like initiation onto the team that you can recall or anything like that?
Oh yeah. It was
Some hazing.
It was like you had to say
a little bit of hazing.
you had to say the rosary like 10 times fast.
No, it was more like silly guy things. Nothing too like it wasn't hateful or anything like that.
Okay.
Do you want to disclose or you want to keep it?
All I can say is you were blindfolded and picked up in a pickup truck, and weird things would get done to you, and nothing.
Statutes of limitations or
Nothing odd like that.
Don't have to tell.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
I wouldn't go there, but.
Okay, no, we just like to,
Yeah, just for fun,
just for fun.
Yeah, but the preseason was pretty enduring because that was the first thing we did. Like we ate as a team.
You're together all the time.
We were 24/7. We had to be up at 5 in the morning. If you were late, you were running laps like at the field. There was no questions. And if more than like 2 people or 3 people were late, I remember one morning having to run lines. You guys probably ran the lines before, right?
If you probably ran something similar.
Line to the 6, then to the 18 half line, and then back, and then on to the opposite end of the field.
We ran something similar, but
it was that.
So Pedro.
We did that 2 or 3 times, or if we lost a game that we shouldn't have lost to the opponent. So
yeah, we had a couple of those.
Yeah.
A lot.
But yeah, that preseason, I made sure I was ready all summer to endure the pains of that preseason and get ready to, hopefully get a starting position that fall season, which I was able to,
okay. So that first game you had, what was what's your memory of that first game? Getting your first touch on the ball. What was going through your mind when you're on the field?
Don't give the ball away or pass it to the other team.
Were you nervous?
Did you make any like huge mistakes where you're like, man, he's gonna take me out? I know it.
Well, just give some of the viewers like a background of my my skill set. So I was a defender, and probably toward the end of my travel season, my coach Alvin said that I lacked the technical ability to move through the avenues and lanes of passing the ball. So I worked really, really hard when I got to college to make sure that I was able to accurately trust my teammates, get the ball passed off, and not give it away. I could easily steal a ball or win a tackle, but whenever I got the ball, that was the issue. So that was one of those first subconscious things I got. When I got the ball my very first game, I was like, just move it around, pass the ball. Is all
you made sure to play to someone who had space and time.
Space, time, not set them up to get sliced or anything like that.
All right.
That's awesome. Yeah. And I guess moving on past your freshman year or sophomore year, now you've already selected your major. You didn't play your next 2 years, from what I understand. Is that correct?
That's correct.
So you were in pharmacy school at this point in time, correct?
I did manage to sneak in another spring season by request of the coach after I had determined I was doing pharmacy for sure.
So once you committed to pharmacy, you kind of stopped playing on the team because the workload went up, or what was
The workload
reasoning behind it?
was a lot higher. There was a lot more. I mean, I'm dealing with medicine that could potentially benefit, harm, or kill somebody. So I needed to really focus on my studies and kind of let soccer go at that point.
Not to mention a lot of student loans that were at
Yeah, there were some student loans at risk here, so not passing classes could be a factor if I was trying to do soccer full. I mean, soccer, you guys know, full-time job. I mean, you're going to school and then you're doing soccer 24/7. Weight room, I mean, mornings. Yeah, don't even get me started with that weight room.
So you didn't necessarily have a graduation from your undergrad. It just kind of like
It rolled in.
it was a gradient into you graduating from pharmacy school.
That's right, yeah.
So after you're in pharmacy school, did you know what you were doing after that? I mean, like, you know where you were gonna work, or what went into you choosing the company you work for now?
So it's actually interesting you mentioned that, because I worked for Walmart since I was 16 years old, and got an opportunity to work around the whole building, see a lot of different things before I entered that pharmacy. And it was actually during soccer season that I was working as a cashier in the pharmacy. And I'll never forget this. We were playing University of Tampa, and the game was at 3, and I was scheduled to work in the pharmacy like 9 to 1:30 or lunchtime. And coach is very big about being there 2 hours before games, and
Yeah, of course.
he knew I was working in the pharmacy to try and get some exposure in. It was flexible with things like that, understanding, but I was a starter on the team at this point, and we were playing University of Tampa, ranked number 1 for NCAA Division II school in the country, and we're playing this team, and big opponent. So I remember scrambling from the pharmacy to getting on that field and play that game, and that was an intense game. I still remember, like, clouds in the sky, and it was kind of dark, rainy, and having to cover forward. I don't know if you guys familiar with the former Tampa Bay Rowdies professional soccer player named Pascal Million. I was tasked with having to cover him the whole game. Very, very fast player, and so I was just defending mostly the whole 90 minutes.
I know that feeling.
Yeah.
Defending a fast player. I had to defend when we played against Akron, against Yedlin.
Oh yeah,
US
Inter Miami. I
now
think
he's
he's
at
at
Miami.
FC Cincinnati now.
Oh, I'm not sure, but I know he was fast as hell.
I believe you pulled a hamstring back.
I pulled a hamstring down the line trying to keep up with him. And I was pretty quick, fast myself back then, but he was on another level.
Yep. So it sounds like we all have these episodes where we've had to cover these fast players. What about you?
Bringing it back. Well, hold on. I want to bring it back to basically, like, what went into you choosing. You were describing the game and the work schedule, the balance. So I just want to know how you knew that you were going to work for Walmart afterward. After you said you were working all around the building, and then you were in the pharmacy.
Is it because the opportunity came up to be a
so
pharmacist?
you're not just a pharmacist. You're now a
So my goal was, when I got into pharmacy school, to work in the pharmacy, get some exposure, make that determination that I really like working in a community pharmacy setting. So I got, automatically when you get into pharmacy school, you get your intern license, and so I got made a Walmart intern. So I did 4 years of Walmart internship, and then got licensed and started working as a pharmacist for Walmart. They kind of start you out slow, hourly, just depending on what positions and hours they have, and made me a salary pharmacist from there. And then went to a few different stores. I mean, story for another time as far as where I went. If you guys want to hear about that, we can go into it. But that's just, I knew I wanted to be a pharmacist, and so that's where I put the priority, and had to drop soccer for a bit. And then it wasn't until after pharmacy school, where I was working, that I picked up a couple over 30 leagues, some tournament teams, things that were pretty high level competitive with some ex-professional soccer players, ex-college players like yourselves.
So question, so what made you, because, I mean, we know your background, you were a pharmacist and you were a pharmacy manager of
like
Walmart,
of an actual store, but now he manages he managed a lot of pharmacies.
Yeah.
That's like the next step you know,
But he used to be the pharmacy manager at your current
he actually did. Yeah,
location.
yes, he
So
was.
it made you want to jump from being a pharmacy manager, managing, to now managing, leaving the medical type aspect. Or are you still
Yeah,
involved?
now he's in,
I would still say I'm pretty much very well involved as far as like clinical knowledge goes. Yes, I'm not directly impacting patient care, but I am working through over 30 pharmacists that I manage right now.
Do you enjoy it more? Is that why you want
Oh,
to challenge yourself, learn something new?
so yeah, that was the big thing is I went to pharmacy school to help patients get better, take medicine, to feel better, explain the specifics as to what they're getting. You know, a lot of people think that pharmacists just push pills and put in a bottle and say, here you go. But there's a whole lot more that goes into putting that prescription in that bottle. I mean, being able to identify if there's a drug interaction, anything that a patient should watch out for, was my passion. Clinical services were really big for me too, being able to expand and do blood glucose testing, blood pressure testing, screenings, immunizations, being able to test to treat. So I like doing those things and becoming really good at them. But I said to myself, well, how can I impact more patients and help more people by working through pharmacists? How can I make pharmacists be better at their jobs and have that satisfaction to help more and more patients on a grand scale? And so,
So you hold your current pharmacists that run your stores kind of to the level that you wanted to be running your
yeah,
facility when you were a manager.
that's spot on accurate. So I got the opportunity to apply for a position in Louisville, Kentucky. Relocate with the company. Company was very, very good to me. Took care of all the relocation, moving, things like that. Um, and I got a chance to manage 9 pharmacies I have right now, and I've got 4 vision centers. So I do optical also. People
that's
leadership's
awesome.
really big to me. You guys know being on the soccer field, you're kind of a leader within your area.
Yeah, that kind of leads into our next question. Did being a college athlete help you in the career you're out today? Like, what benefit do you think or traits you brought from being a college athlete, on the field, the team camaraderie, all that stuff? What did you bring with you into your current career?
If anything, do you feel like it helped you at all?
Competitive edge for sure. We have KPIs or metrics that we have to meet, and yes, we don't put them down people's throats, but I also don't like to lose. It's one of those things where I have that competitive nature that I want to hit the goals. Like when you're trying to put that soccer ball in the goal or prevent it
Yeah.
from going in the goal.
Yeah.
Same concept runs through my mind when I look at different types of metrics and gauging performance of my team. We all want to lift each other up.
So that's awesome, and that kind of leads again into my next question. What would you give to the college athletes who are leaving the sport that they played and now transitioning into the real world? Any advice that you would give them, or just along the whole journey, like that you would tell them that you learned going through this journey and that you would tell your former self?
Yeah, so I would definitely tell my former self or any athletes, junior, senior years that are in those last 2 years of college, figure out what you're going to do before you graduate. Don't wait till your senior year or even get to the end of your senior year and you don't have a clue what you're doing. And if you're just going to be sticking around for another year, if you've got the red shirt option or just going to be that guy on campus that was the athlete, I'm sure you guys have plenty of those. So
Yeah.
So I know there's a lot of not countries, but I know a lot of toxic people. They do end up graduating and they don't know what they're doing. They're still trying to figure out their life.
mhm.
What would you tell them to kind of help them figure out what to do? Because a lot of time, the people went to school, they got their degree, and they
Kind of lose their identity almost
yeah,
sometimes.
or they also find a job or they go into a career that was nothing from what they studied.
Well, I would tell that person probably find a mentor. I mean, we all have someone in our lives that we look up to. A lot of times, it's who you associate yourself with makes a big difference on where you're going to be going with your life. So first, identify what that looks like, and then find a mentor. And then just start picking their brain, someone that's going to guide you toward the right way. And they might not be able to tell you what you're going to do, but they can at least kind of give you an idea of perspective for long term. We're on this life for a long time. We're going to have to make sure we're ready to retire, gracefully somewhat.
Armand, that's awesome advice, and I want to thank you for coming on the show with us here today.
Yeah.
Um, Dennis, we can catch this podcast.
Yes, you can catch the podcast that we'll be uploading every Tuesdays. You can find us on Instagram, follow us. You can subscribe to us on YouTube and also on Spotify. Like I said, every Tuesday. If you want to be on the show, email us. The email will be down below in the description or on the little banner at the end of this video. Or any feedback. If you have any feedback for us on how we can improve or get better, let us know.
Or if you have any questions for Arman here as
Yeah.
well, you can always reach out to us and we can put you in contact with him if he doesn't mind. And
I will share one last thing. If anyone, has certain goals in mind as far as student loans goes, or just saving money and trying to effectively, make sure that they're hitting their goals, that competitive athlete edge in my mind, not having debt and trying to beat that goal was a big thing for me. And I was able to pay off, over $200,000 in student debt just by putting in that work. So,
All right.
there you go.
All right. Until next time, guys. See ya.
thanks, guys.